Hello everybody, this is ManuS, and welcome back to another Legends of Runeterra deck tech with another cool aggro deck that I've been messing around with a bit, and that is probably going to be like one of the potential good decks. It's basically a Jinx discard aggro. Jinx is one of the really powerful champions in the game, so there's probably at least one kind of discard, empty your hand, Jinx style aggressive deck in the game that's good, and I want to share the version that I like the most so far and maybe talk a bit about alternatives as well. So yeah, before we do that, you know the drill. Subscribe down below for more content and leave a like if you enjoy the content. And now on to the deck. Alright, so the current version that I have here is Noxus Zone Piltover. Another potential option is to run Ionia over Noxus, but Noxus gives you an additional pretty nice discard enabler that you can play for free if you discard it, which is really nice. Also gives you some good aggressive unit options, while Ionia has a bit more utility and evasive type stuff, and yeah, probably plays a little slower and slightly less aggressive, but still offers like a lot of like proactive options. Sixo, for example, on his stream was playing an Ionia version that we talked about briefly and that he liked so far, but yeah, I think this might be the better direction simply because I think Vision is actually pretty strong. Giving all your allies permanently +1/+0 for basically 0 mana by enabling one of your many cards that require you to discard is pretty strong, and you also get more aggressive 1-drops and stuff like that. And yeah, Draven fits the synergy pretty well in Katarina. So let's talk about the deck. We have 12 1-drops, Draven's biggest fan. We only have 2 Draven, even though he's pretty strong, but you don't really need more if you have Draven's biggest fan, because you virtually have 5 Dravens, making it very easy to almost always have a Draven on 3 if you want to. Then we have Rearguard, just one of the best aggressive 1-drops. Precious Pet, not that great on turn 1, but yeah, particularly nice later on to gain tempo and fill out your curve, which is why we have so many 1-drops, because this is good later. And then we have Zonite Urchin, just another card that synergizes with our discard matters stuff and emptying our hand for Jinx, while also actually, if you discard something that is free, like a Jewelry Rig or Flame Trumpers or Vision, you actually get card advantage because the last press lets you draw a card, so it's a pretty powerful 1-drop in a deck built around it. And then we have Jewelry Rig, which is technically a 1-drop, but you never really want to play it as a spell. You just want to discard it to one of your cards that require you to discard them in addition to their mana cost. Then we have 3 Academy Prodigy, 3 Sump Dredger, and currently 2 House Spiders as 2-drops, leaving us with 8 2-drops. We also have Flame Trumpers, but once again that's a card that you want to discard, not really want to play, and it's also not an attacker. But the Challenger is nice, it allows you to bind one of their blockers and let your other units get through. This is just pretty strong on offense, like 3/1 quick draw, quick attack is super hard to block, so this is really annoying facing it on defense. Sump Dredger is just above the curve and synergizes with our discard stuff. And then we have 2 House Spiders, which I felt are just kind of nice because they're 2 units in 1 and have nice synergy with Vision, and to an extent with Draven's spinning axis, making them each body matter a bit more. So they seem like a decent fit. You could replace them with another 2-drop if you don't like them, but for now I think they are worth having with the Vision synergies. Let's just be a bit more explosive. Then we have the 2 Draven that I mentioned, 3 Get Excited, just a solid, flexible removal that also empties your hand for Jinx, and also lets you finish the enemy Nexus because you can also deal 3 damage to them. Then we have one Katarina because we have one champion slot left, and she can be pretty powerful in like the mid game, but she's obviously yeah, huge tempo sink, and you don't really ever want to draw multiples. Her spell is not very good either, but having access to one to just randomly draw her and then flip her to give you free attacks can be really powerful, so it just gives you some more play and staying power in. Then we have the 3 Vision that I mentioned, and of course the 3 Jinx, and then I'm currently having 2 Augmented Experimenter, which automatically flips Jinx, and also is really powerful. By the time you play this, you often have like 0 or 1 card in hand, so get to draw 2 to 3 extra cards and deal 3 damage to something, and get a 3/3, making it a huge blowout. And the discard effect flips Jinx, like levels up Jinx, even though you draw 3 cards after. So this is a guaranteed Jinx level up and a huge blowout. It's kind of like Doomguard in Hearthstone Zoo decks, for example, just kind of like a powerful top end card that you put into your aggressive deck to just swing the game. I would have to play more with them to see how many I want. Maybe you can just run 3 because they're powerful enough and the games go in a way that you get to 6 often enough that they matter, and it adds grind power to the deck, because also it doesn't really matter that they cost 6 and could clog up your hand, because you have all these like discard outlets. So if it's clogging up your hand and you don't need it, you can just discard it to one of the discard cards, because you won't always have a discard enabler like Vision or Flame Chompers or a Jury Rig, and then if you discard a real card, this is an easy way to get rid of it if you don't need it. So there's much less downside to running a 6-drop in a deck like this than in a normal aggro deck where it just might sit in your hand not doing anything for you. So yeah, that's the deck. You just curve out and punish your opponent really hard. Jinx is your like powerful engine that you just get her online and flip her. She runs away with the game really hard because you draw 2 cards a turn and also get the rocket and just obliterate the opponent. Alright, that's the deck. And now time to battle and see it in action. So see you in a moment with game number 1. Stay tuned.